Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 523, Lost in the Shadows, Intermediate. James adjusted his tie, the silk smooth under his fingers as he drove through the unfamiliar city. A successful businessman from London, he was here for a conference, chasing deals that could elevate his career. The city, sprawling and chaotic, was new to him. His GPS had been guiding him through its maze of streets, but now it was leading him somewhere strange. Towering buildings gave way to crumbling warehouses, and the streets grew narrower, littered with debris. He frowned, glancing at the screen. "This can't be right," he muttered. Suddenly his car sputtered. The engine coughed, then died. James pressed the accelerator, but nothing happened. He cursed under his breath, coasting to the side of the road. The street was eerily quiet, lined with boarded-up shops and graffiti-covered walls. He checked his phone, only 5% battery left. Panic crept in as he dialed for roadside assistance. But before he could connect, the screen went black. His phone was dead. James stepped out of the car, his polished shoes crunching on broken glass. The air felt heavy, thick with the smell of damp concrete and something sour. He locked the car, though it seemed pointless in this deserted place, and started walking. Surely, he thought, there must be a public telephone nearby. He just needed to stay calm and find help. The streets twisted like a labyrinth. Shadows stretched long in the fading daylight, and the silence was broken only by distant dogs barking or the occasional shout. James quickened his pace, his heart thumping. He wasn't used to this. His world was boardrooms and business-class flights, not this rough, unpredictable place. Every alley looked threatening, every shadow a potential danger. He clutched his briefcase tightly, as if it could protect him. He turned a corner and saw a group of men leaning against a wall, their eyes following him. One of them smirked, and James's stomach twisted. He lowered his gaze and hurried past, their low laughter echoing behind him. "Just keep walking," he whispered to himself. "Find a phone." Minutes turned into an hour. His polished shoes were scuffed, his suit jacket damp with sweat. The streets seemed to loop endlessly, offering no signs of a phone booth. His confidence was slipping, replaced by a growing fear. What if he couldn't find help? What if he was stuck here all night? The thought made his chest tighten. He stopped to catch his breath, leaning against a lamppost. In the distance he heard footsteps, slow, deliberate. He froze, straining to see in the dim light. A figure emerged from an alley, tall and hooded, moving towards him. James's heart raced. He turned and walked faster, almost running now, but the footsteps seemed to follow. He didn't dare look back. Another corner, another empty street. His breath came in short gasps. The city felt like it was closing in, swallowing him whole. He spotted a flickering neon sign ahead, a dingy bar. Maybe they had a phone. He pushed through the door, the smell of stale beer hitting him. The bar was nearly empty, save for a few grizzled patrons who barely glanced up. The bartender, a heavy-set man with a scar across his cheek, eyed James suspiciously. "Do you have a public phone?" James asked, his voice shaky. The bartender grunted, pointing to a corner. There it was, a grimy, old-fashioned phone booth. Relief washed over him. He fumbled for change in his pocket, his hands trembling as he dialed for help. But as he pressed the receiver to his ear, he heard nothing. The line was dead. His heart sank. Behind him, the bar door creaked open. He turned, and the hooded figure from the street stood there, silhouetted against the neon glow. The man stepped forward, his face hidden in shadow. James's breath caught in his throat. He backed away, but the phone booth trapped him. The figure moved closer, and the last thing James saw was a glint of something metallic in the man's hand. The city swallowed his screams, and the shadows claimed another lost soul. Vocabulary notes. Sputtered, verb, definition, to make a series of soft, explosive or spitting sounds, often used for engines or machines that are malfunctioning, can also describe speech that is hesitant or broken. Example: suddenly his car sputtered, the engine coughed, then died. Context in the story describes the car's engine making irregular noises before stopping, indicating a mechanical failure. Similar words: stalled, when an engine or vehicle stops working suddenly, e.g. the car stalled in the middle of the road. Coughed, a short explosive sound often used for engines or people, e.g. the old truck coughed before starting. Spluttered, similar to sputtered, with a focus on irregular spitting sounds, e.g. the motorbike spluttered in the rain. Eerily, adverb, definition, in a way that is strange, unsettling or creepy, often creating a sense of unease. Example: the street was eerily quiet, lined with boarded-up shops and graffiti-covered walls. Context in the story highlights the unsettling silence of the rough part of town, adding to James's growing fear. Similar words: creepily, in a way that causes discomfort or fear, e.g. the house was creepily silent at night. Unnervingly, causing nervousness or unease, e.g. his smile was unnervingly calm. Spookily, suggesting something ghostly or eerie, e.g. the fog made the forest look spookily mysterious. Debris, noun, definition, scattered pieces of waste or remains, often from something broken or destroyed. Example: towering buildings gave way to crumbling warehouses and the streets grew narrower, littered with debris. Context in the story describes the littered, neglected state of the rough part of town, contributing to the sense of decay. Similar words: rubble, broken pieces of stone or building materials, e.g. the old house was reduced to rubble. Litter, scattered waste, often smaller items like paper or trash, e.g. the park was full of litter after the festival. Wreckage, remains of something destroyed, often larger structures, e.g. the wreckage of the plane was scattered across the field. Labyrinth, noun, definition, a complicated network of paths or passages, often difficult to navigate, can also metaphorically describe something complex or confusing. Example: the streets twisted like a labyrinth. Context in the story conveys how the city's streets are disorienting and maze-like, increasing James's sense of being lost. Similar words: maze, a complex network of paths designed to confuse, e.g. the garden had a maze we couldn't escape. Tangle, a confused mass of something twisted together, e.g. the wires formed a tangle under the desk. Warren, a complex or confusing arrangement, e.g. the old town's streets were a warren of narrow paths. Grizzled, adjective, definition, having grey or streaked hair, often associated with age or toughness, can also describe a rough, weathered appearance. Example: the bar was nearly empty save for a few grizzled patrons who barely glanced up. Context in the story describes the rough, experienced appearance of the bar's patrons, adding to the intimidating atmosphere. Similar words: weathered, worn or aged by exposure to the elements or experience, e.g. the sailor had a weathered face. Rugged, rough and strong in appearance, e.g. the rugged man looked like he'd seen hard times. Hardened, toughened by experience or hardship, e.g. the hardened workers ignored the newcomer. Silhouetted, verb past participle, definition, to be outlined as a dark shape against a lighter background, often creating a dramatic effect. Example: he turned and the hooded figure from the street stood there, silhouetted against the neon glow. Context in the story creates a menacing image of the hooded figure, heightening the tension as James faces danger. Similar words: outlined, clearly defined against a background, e.g. the trees were outlined against the sunset. Shadowed, partially hidden or darkened, suggesting mystery, e.g. her face was shadowed by the hood. Framed, positioned to stand out against a background, e.g. the building was framed by the moonlight. Story written by Grok3 and Steve UK. Image created by Grok3 AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.